How y'all doing? Welcome to Outside the Box Financials, where we think differently for a better tomorrow. So we got somebody here that's fictional, and I put a lot of these numbers off the internet, and we're going to see how we can improve this person's financial standings and push from a negative cash flow to a positive cash flow. Right? So right there, of course, I told y'all we got a negative cash flow minus $695. Not doing so hot. Right. Got a credit card, which is 24% interest, 2% rewards. Got a balance of 7,279. What I did was, in order to determine what the credit card payment was, typically when you're paying a credit card, the minimum payment consists of about 5% balance and majority of its interest. So that's what I did on this. You got a limit of 12,945. You got some assets tax refund at the end of the year, right? You can typically most people get a tax refund. This person I put about 7,000, right? Because he has a wife and kids, has dependents. Got a TSP, which is a government retirement, like a 401k. Got about 65,000 there, and some savings of about 5,000. All right. They got a wife and kids, which they distribute about 2,000 to the wife and kids, so that way they can get some education, get stuff, buy stuff for themselves, and so on. Right. Got a vehicle, about $711 per month. Right. Rent is about $1,702 per month, and then the credit card payment of $175 per month. And then we got a debt. We got a vehicle debt of $35,000. We got food of about $400 per month. I know these numbers are fairly small. It's probably more than this or so on, but this was what the average I saw. So we're just gonna include that for now, and then go on from there. And then gas, $63 per month. Electric, $117 per month. Water, $45 per month. Fuel, $179 per month. Got subscriptions at $219 per month. And that's crazy because I saw the average on subscriptions, and I don't know what homies be buying, but to me that's a lot. I only got like 2 subscriptions. I think I got a Netflix subscription to Crunchyroll because I like watching a few anime. Yes, I'm not a nerd, but I do like some of the animes. And I think it's like Discovery Plus or one of those that my wife has. And then we got discretionary spending, which is basically stuff like going out and eat, buying stuff from the store for your own personal use and so on. So we got about 1,000 per month. So what would you or someone in this situation do to reduce that cash flow? Right? The main things would be, hey, wife and kids, discretionary, cut it. But is this viable, or what is the actual opportunity cost? What is the actual opportunity cost of this? All right, if you did reduce that, what would it do to your marriage, right? Just your lifestyle and your mindset. So we got stress, right? Reducing that, and then you just eating beans and rice and so on. It's probably not the good thing, because if you're being stressed out, you think you're actually gonna stay in that mindset, be kind and nice to your wife, and actually be able to think of how to make things happen and improve your financial situation instead of destroying your health. We got education. The money goes down. Say those kids go to after school projects, or you buying things to help them become a productive member of society, or your wife's going on to continuing secondary education. Same thing with you. Anything like that, right? You might have to give that up. It'll put a lot of pressure on your marriage. It did on mine, but we got through it. So that is, we need to keep these families together. We need to keep marriages together and strengthen the marriage. And it can't be because of finances, right? Finances is like the most ridiculous thing to have to hurt a marriage, because we need to be all good stewards of money. And I'm here to help. So your sanity too, you go crazy, especially if things don't start working out or you can't break that barrier where you're able to figure out how to maintain your lifestyle and not really and not put yourself in a bind where you have no funds for emergencies, or if things happen, or if like your car breaks down or somebody gets hurt, or rather things pop up, right? So we need to keep you in a great mental state so that way you're able to actually push through the issues at hand and come out on the other side a better person. Right? Arguments, of course, this leads to arguments. Again, happened to me in my marriage and with other people, friends, and so on. That when you're in a financial bind, you get in a bunch of arguments, or say your friends want to go out, you don't want to go out, but they keep pressuring you, and the main reason you can't go out because you don't have money, you don't want to say it because the ego is out there, and you don't want to tell them anything having to do with them looking at you in a negative light. And then we got scarcity. You start to get into the scarcity mindset as you start reining everything in and pulling it in. Now, there might be some times where this has to happen. But let's see if there's a way that we can help this person out and not have to give up everything and potentially ruin himself and his marriage and put so much pressure that eventually this is not something that they stick to. Right. So it really is the mindset. Like I said, oh man, I don't even know how many times I can say this. It is the mindset that needs to change and improve to actually enforce and become a great steward of money. So this really needs to happen. If the mindset cannot change, even if I open up some money, or this person can save, or there's that stretches away, if the mindset doesn't change, then they'll get into a deeper hole, because when that money opens up, your mind, the average mindset wants to push up to be able to spend that money at that level. This is why I see a lot of people, or a lot of soldiers in the military, what they tend to do is they come in as a low rank, and then they go up in rank, they make sergeant, and then what happens? They buy BMW, $800 payment, $900 payment, because they have that additional money coming in, and they think they can afford it, and they put themselves in a financial bind. So let's not do that, and let that not be you. All right? It is really the mindset that needs to change and improve to actually enforce and become, to actually enforce. I can't spell it right, but you know what I mean. Actually enforce and become a great steward of money. That's the thing. Great steward of money. You're in charge of your money. The money obeys you, not the other way around. Once we know that, then the money will start flourishing to us, and we'll be in a good financial position. All right. What can be done to open up cash flow and push into the positive, and also save for emergencies and start invest? Oh man, what can open up cash flow, push into the positive, save for emergencies, and start investing? All three of these. Can we do this here? Let us see. So right off the bat, right? We thought it was the pulling from the wife and kids and pulling from discretionary, or maybe even cutting subscriptions. But for me, what I would do is pull from that TSP and the savings. I would withdraw from the TSP, not borrow from it, because it would open up another monthly payment. You potentially get hit with that 10% penalty, and if you have any 10% penalty, if you pull out early before 59 and a half, I believe it is, and you also get hit with a penalty for taxes, or right, or a 10% tax. I'm trying to word it in my head, but you're gonna get hit with penalties, right? That potentially might happen depending on how long you've had that TSP. And then you're gonna deposit that in the bank, and then I'll pull that $500 in savings and push it to the credit card for the initial start of what I'm about to do. Now, majority of regular financial people will say not to withdraw from that because of the penalties. but we're thinking outside the box. We're not thinking like other financial people, and we're here to make things happen and not be stuck in the rut of traditional finances. Traditional finances is good for some people, but with some people, the way their financial state is, that is not going to work out. Right? So we get the wife and kids, right, and discretionary, which they will pull out of. And most proponents would say, hey, reduce sacrifice. There's a sacrifice. Your kids have to jump on board and so on. Right? But again, it is the mindset. And if their mindset is not the same way your mindset is, it's going to be very difficult. This has happened with me. And I'm telling you, it's not a simple thing. Oh, just make it. Okay, go over there. Hey, guys. Hey, we're going to save money now. I was sending you 2,000, but I'm just going to send you 1,000. Suck it up. Too bad. No, this puts too much pressure. So us with our improved mindset, right, gotta understand that and figure out and make things happen. That's the thing, is make things happen. Don't just choose the easy way out. Gotta make things happen, right? The future is important. The future is important. The future is important. But there's gonna be no future, right? Or nobody to share with the untold wealth you make if you drop that, if nobody's around you, right? And then live below your means. Again, the mindset isn't there, right? Or everybody's mindset isn't there. It's going to be very hard to live below your means. And I'm telling you, it's very different. I try to just eat beans and rice just to live on those little tuna packets that cost, I don't know how much are they, $1.99 on sale or whatever they're, the lemon pepper ones. And it is extremely difficult, right? There are those few that are outliers that have that, I guess, strong mindset and will do that. But for me, with my 7 kids and my wife and my family, it is difficult just to be like, hey, everybody, yep, suck it up. We're all just going to eat tuna. All right, and then for savings in the TSP, they'll say save for rainy day, save $1,000, $5,000, whatever. And one of the things that I'm trying to understand is, why would you save for a rainy day? Meaning, like you're almost, right, self-fulfilling prophecy, hoping for a rainy day to happen and be like, oh, yep, that's why I needed to save it. You can save or have money opened up for a rainy day, but don't have to just keep it in a savings where the bank is using it and doing a 10-to-1 ratio. Do not do that. Use it, right, to your advantage to help out your family, right, to improve your financial system, financial state. And don't just let it sit there and let the bank use it. All right? Of course, they're going to say save for retirement. Yes, we are going to have money for retirement. And TSP, they'll probably say put in one of the the I fund, S fund, G fund, or use a mixture of both, or use the lifestyle one, and typically grow 7 to 10%. And there's been a good, decent rate because we were in a bull market and so on. But we can find other avenues to make this happen and probably increase your money even further and faster than what the TSP itself can do, right? And then, of course, you'll be charged. They'll scare you with that, but we think outside the box, so don't let that scare you. All right, but what really is keeping you in bondage and what's more important? For me, finances is not really what's important. It's my family, keeping a cohesive unit, and us building memories together and succeeding in life together. Not being wealthy and being by myself and having nobody to share with and being lonely and sad. That is not it. All right? So let's make things happen and not let that happen to you. All right, oops. Went too fast. So let's take back control. Right? Let's take back control. Right? For instance, the TSP, you're locked in. I can't withdraw until 59 and a half or I'm going to get charged. So you're like constricting me to what you want to do. So let's take back control, right? So I'm going to show you how we take back control and maybe be able to make some investments or open up money for investments, reduce, right, negative cash flow so it gets pushed into positive, and also save for a rainy day. So once we get that money from the We pull the money from the savings and the TSP. Like immediately, that $5,000 in savings will go to bring that balance down on the credit card and bring it down to 2,279. All right, and then of course that balance gets reduced to 2,279. Our credit card gets 2% rewards, so that's about $100 in rewards. And let's say, for instance, we do get hit; it's a $5,000 hit, right? So in the bank, we'll put about 60,000. So from there, what we'll do is, again, my bread and butter is a whole life policy. Get yourself a whole life policy, right? Get the maximum you can, but from here, how are you? For this situation, we'll do a $1 million policy and $1,000 premiums. Of course, it depends on your health and so on, but $1 million policy. I seen this. It was about $1,000, especially for one of the ones I have. All right, moving on from here, we got 5,000 CC, and then of course we collected the rewards. All right, because what you would do is that $5,000 in savings, you'll put it into the credit card, and then you would fund that whole life policy with that 5,000. Like mine only allows up to $5,000 to be put on a credit card, so that's what I would do, and $100 in rewards, and the rest of it, which is from that TSP, you'd dump straight into whole life policy. Right. From here, you would borrow about 35. You'd borrow 35,000 from it. Okay, and then at a 6% interest rate, that would be about 2,100 a year that you would have to pay to borrow. That you have to pay at the end of the year to borrow that 35,000. Now this is simple interest; it's not compounded. All right. Now, once you plug in that 60,000 into that whole life policy, and even that 5,000, but I'm just using that 6,000 for now. Your premiums are paid up to 60. This is how my policy is structured. So my premiums would be paid up for 60 months. So I would not have to pay for 60 months, which is great. That gives me 5 years, right, to figure out what more to do to make my financial system even stronger. Then from here, that borrowed money, I'd pay off that VIC right away. Bam, gone. Now what happens? Right, my expenses go down from 6,611 to 5,900. My cash flow increases to $16 because now I don't have to pay that $711. Now my cash flow is $16. Now you can see right away, I did not have to reduce the wife and kids $2,000 and my discretionary spending of $1,000 or my subscriptions, right, to all my anime cartoons that I can see. So now we're doing good. Now we're in a positive cash flow, all from doing a few moves. Now it's going to be very difficult, before I go on, to withdraw the TSP, to close it up, because of how we're thinking, and probably how, especially if we had it longer for like 15 years, it's going to be very, very difficult to do it. But again, the mindset needs to improve, and we need to think outside the box to make things happen. Moving on. So now you got, see, positive cash flow. Now we own the vehicle, and we save on interest, because now we're not paying the bank the interest. Now we are collecting it, right? Or it is helping us, because now that we don't pay it, right? We're not having to make, right? No magical money needs to come in order to pay this. Now we're taking control of our own financial future. So to clean it up, this is how it looks now. Expenses $5,900, cash flow $1,600. Right now we got a whole life loan at 6%, which is $2,100 per year. We got a whole life policy loan that got pushed under debt, which is $35,000. Assets though, we got a whole life policy with $65,000 cash value, and it gains at $3,250. So I got 5% and 6%. This is close to what my life insurance company gives me. So what happens is when I borrow a loan or borrow from my whole life, right? It's 1% over what percentage I make as a gain from my whole life policy. So that's how I have it. All right, so we got a balance now of $7,279 back on the credit card because we use that credit card to fund some of the whole life policy. So we still need to make a payment of $2,279 to zero out the interest. So like for instance, on my credit card, as long as you pay off the new balance, that becomes the previous balance on the newer statement. And as long as you zero it out, you don't have to pay no interest. So how are we going to zero this out? So we're going to borrow some more money from the whole life policy, $2,279, nothing too crazy. Right? We're going to utilize that to zero out, to pay that $2,279, which will zero that out, which will bring that balance to $5,279. So we'll still kind of have a balance, but now the previous payment is zeroed out, or previous balance is zeroed out. So now I don't have to pay no interest. But now it becomes, right, a loan at 6% of $136 a year. And the debt does increase a little bit to about $37,236. Right? But now my net, because since now the interest and the loan at the end of the year, right, the net amount will be $1,014. So I'm still gaining some money. So remember how you said how we're going to gain some interest? Now we're gaining interest, which is great. So we got positive cash flow. Now we're gaining some interest. Right, but you also this is imperative. You always want to pay the interest every year. Pay it off so that way your loan doesn't compound. And because what are we going to do? We are going to hold that whole life policy loan throughout the duration unless we have excessive money that we don't know what to do, and then it will probably be a good idea to pay off that loan. But again, we got to think outside the box. Don't think that, oh, we got to get a loan, we got to get out of it. This is a whole life policy loan is a different kind of loan. Right? So are we still able to increase cash flow from here? What? Okay, we're already in positive cash flow. Oh, excuse me. Let's see what else we can do. All right, okay, I remember this. I have $5,000 I used for some rewards for $100. All right. Wait, what? What is this? A triad? All right, you got a whole life policy to a bank to a credit card back to the whole life policy. Wait a minute. Right, and it opens up $100, $160. Yes, because if you do it this way, and in another video I might show it. But you can consistently collect some rewards off of the credit card if used wisely. And of course, again, there's different types of credit cards and different ways they do things, and also depending on what life insurance you get, it's also dependent on them and whether they accept credit cards or not. But you can utilize in a way where you can make some money off that credit card. And since it's fairly consistent, right, you can add it to the cash flow. So we just opened up $116. It's crazy. Oh, wait a minute. Even further? Can I tell y'all even further? All right, let's go. So now we're looking over here on the left side. We got a total of $2,023, right, in expenses we can put on our credit card. All right, so we're gonna run through our credit card, and what it counts as a payment, and it also gives me rewards. So now that rewards goes to that cash flow because we run it through the credit card. It becomes a consistent payment through it, which gives me consistent rewards, which can be put into cash flow, which increases to $156. All right, that's cool. And then, wait a minute. So, oh yeah, it counts as a payment. And then that CC payment is covered. Okay. So now you don't even have to pay that CC payment because now that expense is counting as the payment. And since you don't have to pay that, it opens it up, which now you got $331 in cash flow. That is crazy. So that income we have, right? It basically cancels out because you use 2023 from it, which will go straight into that credit card, which you have expenses of 2023. So it just evens out. So now you're collecting rewards, and that payment is covered. Good to go. And then now what? Wait. Now we got some money opened up for investments. What do we got? All right, for the whole life policy, we got 8,750 that we can still pull out, utilizing for investments. Maybe some real estate, maybe some stocks, maybe some bonds, right? Maybe some crypto. And then our tax refund. Oh, now we don't have to figure or use it to, right? Either try to attempt to pay the vehicle down or open up some cash flow. That is crazy. All right. So now let's clean this up. Now what we're looking at. Now what are we looking at? Right? We're looking at something good. So we got expenses 5,900, cash flow 331. We got a whole life policy loan at 6%, which is 2,236 a year. We got a whole life policy loan at 2,079. We got a whole life policy of 65,000 that's in our cash value with the life insurance company. Right? We're getting 5%, which is 3,250 per year. We got credit card. That's under assets. We'll go over that in a few. We got for investments, we got 5,000. Right, from the credit card. What? Wait, hold on. 5,000 from the credit card. All right, crazy. Tax refund of 7,000. 8,750 from whole life policy available. And now we own our vehicle. And on the left side, right, the expenses we put on credit card has not changed. So how did it look before? This is how it looked. Negative cash flow. Did not own the vehicle. Right? Thinking of probably pulling from the wife and kids or discretionary. Right? We got TSP that's funded that is not helping us out. We're thinking of using our tax refund, right, at the end of the year to help out. Probably pulling our savings to somehow help out. And we're in vehicle debt. Oh yeah, and we also got a balance. Right? That we might have to pay interest on. So doesn't this look way better? Alright, so on the left side, with the expenses we put into the credit card, right, we're earning rewards, and it's also helping us, right, increase our cash flow. So how many of y'all seen that actually using your everyday expenses is actually earning you some money and helping you to increase the cash flow so that way you can use it for something else? That is mind-boggling. This is why we're thinking outside the box. Right? And discretionary did not go down. Right? You can still live within your means. And maybe, hey, your mindset changes and you reduce it a little bit because everybody's mindset improved, and you guys decide, hey, it's better putting some of that money to invest in, so on. But either way, you can still spend that $1,000 per month, still live within your means, less stress. You're not, right, all mad at each other or mad at yourself because you got yourself in this financial rut. You can still do what you need to do and spend, right, money on actually like memories. So money can make you happy if you spend it on things that provide memories. Right? Your mind is clear, so you can think better and make things happen. And right, you can spend time, like I said, making those memories. Right. We got yourself earning interest, which was what we wanted to do. So now you're actually earning something and not just staying in that financial rut. You might have been earning on the TSP, who knows? But what happens if the market tanked? You don't know. Whole life policy, like I said in my previous videos, is something very structurally and financially sound because they've been around for 141 years. Stock market's been around, but how many times has it dropped and tanked? right? And businesses go in, businesses go out. Hopefully that doesn't happen. If you have your retirement account, or how many of y'all have, so TSP is government. Government's not really going to disappear, but what happens if one of y'all have a company and you're in one of those 401ks, and either the company tanks, right, or you're ready for retirement and the stock tanks and the stock market tanks. That would not be good. And there's other things that I can go over in other videos, or yeah, maybe in other videos, or just not say, but there's things that are happening with your pension that is not necessarily being used for the most in the most positive way. Let's just say that. Right? Wife and kids can you can still maintain your lifestyle. Wife and kids can still maintain their lifestyle. They can still get the education. They can still be doing whatever it is they're doing. And again, man, you keep the marriage together and the relationship still being bought. I'm not trying to say it's because money and money, but money does provide, or does add stress if there's not enough money going around. And the thing is if both mindsets are equally aligned to the same vision and goal. But typically, and it helps a family work, is if there's one vision for the family and another vision for the family, and that way you both are working in and it can combine and you guys can strengthen and become some kind of massive hybrid which improves the family. So that's what I'm saying. Keep the family structurally sound, and let's keep the families together, and not make it because of financial issues that they break up. All right? And that vehicle, now it is your vehicle and you're not paying interest. Do you know how much stress that will relieve, that now you don't have a monthly payment and you actually own something, a piece of something, like it's yours, and you have that title? Like when I got my first title and I actually paid off financing it, it like feels really good. It's like some kind of surreal feeling that, I don't know, like improves your confidence and makes you not make boneheaded decisions with your finances. All right? The whole life policy loan that became a debt, it's not bad debt, right? And also, you don't have to pay back. So what I say means you control it. It's because you control the payments. You get to decide when you want to pay it. If you don't want to pay that for the next 2-3 years, you're fine, as long as you don't collapse the policy. Nobody's gonna come after you. They're not gonna try to pull, I don't know, your vehicle like the bank would if the bank owned it and you decide, hey man, I don't want to pay for 2 months. So let's keep this, right? Let's keep things under our control that we can handle, and not allow other entities to determine when we need to pay and then disrupt our life if we decide not to pay, because there's some things that went on, and now we're in like financial dire straits. I think I said that right. Kind of like what happened in COVID. I mean, they did offer some, to push your debt to the right so you can pay a little bit later and so on. They try to help. But what happens if you need more time than that? 6, 7, 8 months. Then now people are losing the businesses, people are losing their cars, their home, anything else. And how much financial pressure did it put on a lot of people? So we're not going to let that happen. Next time, anything else happens, you're going to have such a financial structure and a system in place that it's not really going to impact you too much. Or you can get through it very, very well and understand what to do to make things happen and not be stuck in a rut. All right? And then we got the credit card. The balance is at 0, so now we're earning money and increasing credit. We're earning money off of it and increasing credit. Again, increasing credit. So now maybe you can apply for that home loan. Maybe you can apply for that PLOC. Maybe you can apply for that HELOC. And if you apply for those, man, it'll greatly improve and help, right, your investments in the future, or make your financial system even stronger and structurally sound. So we can only improve from this, right? Great mindset, great financial habits. It's all gravy from there, right? Now we got money for investments. You're able to get out of the hamster wheel. That's a decent amount. 5,000 plus 7,000. What is that? 12,000. plus that, plus the 8,750. So that's what, 20,750. What can you do with that? You can do a lot with 20,000, especially if you use sound investment principles, right? And get into things not just in the hopes of you're making money, but get into it because you understand it and you're doing it for the correct reasons and you know how to manage your risk. And that's for another video that I can do later, or maybe I'll make another channel for my trading and all that. So moving on. Credit card, what? Hold up. A credit card's an asset? A credit card is an asset. What do I mean by an asset? So a credit card is an asset because what is an asset? An asset is something that earns you money. Like for instance, people thought before, was it Robert Kiyosaki released that book, Rich Dad Poor Dad? People thought their houses was an asset, but it's only an asset is if it's providing, if it's spitting out some money, like you're gaining from it. They thought it was an asset because you got some equity, but if you're not even using the equity to make investments and stuff like that, you are still paying on it, so it's taking money from you, not adding. Your equity doesn't add money to you. It's all paper until it's a realized gain. Until it's a realized gain, it's basically nothing. Because when the housing market was going up and people thought their houses were an asset, it became a liability when the housing market dropped and their house got foreclosed. So, since a credit card is providing you, right, some positive cash flow, and you're not being charged interest, and then there's I should go more deeper into credit cards because a lot of people don't understand all the benefits that come with their credit card and what you can utilize it for. But again, that's for another video. Moving on. So cash flow, right? Open up cash flow. So with that money, hey, improve that mindset even more. Treat yourself. Realize what you've done. Realize how you got out of your financial dire straits, and right, you're improving your financial system. So go ahead and treat yourself, man. Don't say, oh no, I gotta save it and I can't spend and I can't do that. Don't get back into that mentality. That's that scarcity mentality. Treat yourself or others, or it even feels good for the soul. Help others and give to charity, right? I mean, you see some of those videos where people go out and right help out the homeless or help out families when they're in the grocery line and so on. Do that, man. Do that, and I'm telling you, it is good for the soul and does something to you where all of a sudden money starts flowing your way. Regardless of what you believe in, that is true. I've seen it happen, and helping out others, it just feels really good. And you could be that one that helps somebody on the brink of destruction, right? On giving up on their family, giving up on their marriage, and so on. That you're there, and either you help them out, give them some money, buy them some food, and so on. That changes the whole perspective about life, and especially of other human beings. There's too much bad in the world. Be that force that's good, and let's just help each other out. And of course, why? It's because you deserve it. But hopefully this was educational. Hopefully this helps. Right? I want to see everybody experience financial freedom or their own way of financial freedom. And I just want families to stick together. I want my military brothers and sisters to be able to not have to focus on any financial issues, and be able to focus on their job and what they're doing. And I salute them. And that's all I got for now. So thank you all for joining me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.